his hands. Let's talk about the draft we do have done. Very early pick for Rolster onto this Fiora. That's again going to be Rattel getting his superstar carry in the top lane. He's had an impact on this series. And yet again, the Jax gets banned down, countering Weber.
Yeah, I don't think we've changed anything, at least in the bans. Certainly the first pick and the bans have stayed the same, I believe, every single game so far. We're back with Lee Sin Corki. They are indeed going back to, I would say, Luna's best champion. Certainly he's the best Corki here at the tournament that I've seen so far. So, never a bad insurance policy, as you said, to invest in Luna.
Not
Premiums are high after that game, let me tell you.
But with the Corki, your premiums are always low. You don't need to give him that much money. Sits in the side lane. When you need him, he's there.
They did get into an accident or two in the last game. So you got to be a touch careful. And Swaver does take the Graves away.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have to play into the style that DKG made. So Famous says,
But that's a game plan, Pastry!
My favorite champion in Wildrift. That's the Kali.
In the middle of the map, that's going to be handed to Isaac, who does have a carry performance or two inside of him. And the game plan is very simple. Isaac, go in. Weber, stop playing.
Oh, and there's the Garen. And not just any Garen, TJ.
That's the Garen support.
It is the Garen support. The famous Garen support. Is it Emo's famous Garen support? Is he the one? Is he the rascal doing this in the domestic tournaments?
He was the very first Garen support I've seen. As I talked about earlier with Thunder Talk, they do Garen support as well. A lot of Chinese teams think Garen supports.
Right. I was gonna say, I think the important note is that this is definitely a Chinese teams thing, right? Yeah. They are the ones that do the Garen support thing, and they are doing the Garen support thing right now in potentially in the third game of what could be their first loss here at Horizon Cup.
No, I saw this Garen support for the very first time, which by no means is necessarily the very first time it got played. But I saw it in the Spark Invitational Grand Final, which was where DKG qualified for this event. And Emo brought it out, and that was months ago. That was 3-4 months ago. So very early on that train, DKG, and they also, of course, had the Graves kind of ahead of everyone else, way back at the Spark Invitational.
All right, well, this is fun because, I feel like Rolster figured it out in Game 1, how to approach the draft and shut down Hueba. Game 2, they had a way to do it, but weren't comfortable necessarily executing on that style, even though they did get the lead. Game 3, they have basically been forced to give DKG the style that they have, until recently, not dropped a game with yet here at Horizon Cup.
Yeah. On the opposite side, though, Rolster get their dreams. Both their carries have carry characters. Both Rattel and Isaac are on their favorite duelists, and you have the Corki as Luna's insurance policy in the late game. It is the dream draft for Rolster versus the dream draft for DKG, and that means this game will come entirely down to execution.
That is exactly what you want in a Game 3, TJ, as the teams will head onto the Rift for the final time today. Only one can remain undefeated here between these two. Will it be Rolster White? Will it be Dakun Gaming? We're going to find out in about 20 minutes time. Or less. Depends who wins.
Yeah,
if it's the Rolster win, it's
minutes.
definitely 25 minutes. Guaranteed. Not guaranteed. Getting quoted. Unlucky.
I'll hold you to it.
I know. This is the problem. I knew you would.
DKG obviously are going to be playing towards Hueba on that Graves, so a huge priority here for Rolster is, as they did during game number 1, how do you get onto Weber early? How do you bully him in his own jungle in early team fights with picks like Isaac's Akali, like Rattel's Fiora?
Once again, Rattel is off to a good start here in the 1v1. Been pretty consistent with the pressure. As our bottom side, what can you tell me about Garen support, CJ? Because I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
Have you seen Beyblade?
Yes. That's it? That's all it does?
Well, the big thing that DKG think, and I think they're right about this, he's got a shroud, it's fine, is that there aren't enough health bars in the game, and more specifically, the health bars that are in this game are entirely too small. And the great thing about Garen's support is he's got a very big health bar.
Yes.
So you can put him at the front of the team fight and allow him to soak damage, use that spin silence to zone entire groups of people. And towards the late game, he even starts doing damage.
I was going to say, you know, in lane, it's looking good right now, but I think that's more the matchup and wins Lucian than anything else, as apparently it's Lee Sin goes top day. Literally every game this has happened where Lee Sin has been on the blue side, but YK's going to dodge it thanks to some help from Quaver.
If you have a Lee Sin, it's your responsibility to gank level 3.
Oh, nice from Salem. Ignite down, they really want the kill here. Only going to get the stun onto Emo though, as Wind did flash.
If you have the Lee Sin, it's your responsibility to gank level 3. And if you have Rattel, it's your responsibility to gank Rattel. Thus, we will always see those Lee Sin gank Rattel for the first 5 minutes of the game.
Math checks out on that one.
Doing some equations. The thing I didn't mention about Garen, because I was trying to be supportive, we don't see him that often, is that's the other side of Garen that you just saw. Is he doesn't really have any CC. He has soft CC in the silence, but if somebody's determined to run past Garen, the only thing he can really do is yell, "Hey, stop."
It kind of makes sense, you know, as far as Garen's character goes. As you see there, going forward, getting aggressive. Great time for Garen support. Your AD carry's getting run at by 2 people. Real bad times.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of a mole call at that point. Stop! Bring it back!
they never stop. They just keep on running.
Yep.
Those kids. Alrighty, Rattel. Chilling out. You know, just vibing. Got the Trinity Force on the way. Feeling good.
Rattel is going to do pretty well in this matchup. Renekton isn't an answer to Fiora. But he is a very good survivable lane. It's very hard to bully the Renekton in lane. And Rattel's not going to be able to do that without going above and beyond. And he's not going to do that before our first team fight. We are 30 seconds away from the first 2 major objectives of the game. You have the Rift Herald, which is normally Prio 1 for Korean teams. But the spanner in the works this time round is that there's an Infernal Drake as well. Infernal Drake, by far the most powerful dragon that can come up, a very significant damage boost for whichever team gets it. And I suspect Rolster may prioritize it because so many of their characters rely on having damage in the mid lane game.
This has been consistent in this series. These teams have basically waited till these 4-minute spawns, and then kind of the first big inflection point of action has happened here. So Doe, gonna go ahead and try and kill this crab. We'll get it. But no one's rushing to the dragon just yet. As Isaac, going for Yo hit. That was so close to a kill.
Isaac starting to pop off here. He's going to keep doing that. Isaac, an incredibly mechanically skilled mid laner, and he was on support duties last game, playing the Twisted Fate, letting Doe steal his wave. This time round, it is Isaac carry time. There's Rolster, as expected, going for their standard objective. It is going to be that Rift Herald up top. DKG will trade this. They are going to take the Infernal.
All right, so this is the first time in the series, I think, where we haven't seen the team do battle as the first objective.
And you get that a lot with Infernal Drakes, because the Infernal is so high value, it's kind of the only time that the Rift Herald is equalized on the opposite side of the map.
There's the Herald. Rattel is going to get funneled this early gold. Yoda up here to potentially save the dive. YK even popping Dominus. I might go for something here. Good kick.
No!
Doe.
Kicked away. Doe denies the fight. I have to say, I do really... Okay, team fight breaks out as Salem goes in. I don't think that turns into anything.
Yeah, and that's polarized, but I'm going to follow. Almost dies actually in it.
Yeah. I do really not like the way Rolster use Rift Herald. They're very eager, very trigger happy on it, and they'll use it before they've got the confirmed damage to kill turret. Right. Which makes it very difficult for them to get first turret of the game, oftentimes in circumstances where you would think they would. The upside is it does get some quick dirty gold onto Rattel. Yeah,
feels like they're just cashing for the place where I feel like in Wildrift you can certainly, you know, set up waves and maybe a bit more easily guarantee a turret actually being taken.
Yeah, and just, it's not even just Rolster, it's kind of the entire Korean scene. Just spends the Rift Herald for the instant cash. Don't know how I feel about it. We'll see if they win this game. That'll determine whether or not it's a good strategy pastry.
That's the only factor. Oh, Salem, once again, back with the rocket belt, but Emo definitely dodges it.
Spinning in the mid lane. Meantime,
this
wave is farming up.
If you're a DKG fan, that's what you want to see. Oh, I can take it back. Never mind, good flash. Gets out from under Isaac's ire.
Yeah, look at the defense Yo's providing there. He's shadowing Quavo across the map, and this is a huge part of Quavo's success. It doesn't look like Weber has any support there, but he's actually getting the attention of Young, who is not gaining XP. He's not gaining gold during that time. He's sacrificing all of that just to be there outside of turret gold range, shadowing Weber so that if Weber gets in trouble, he can be defended. And that's incredible teamwork. That's an incredible sacrifice.
Isaac so low. Yeah, does not want to headbutt Emo in. Emo's just going to go spinning. Isaac going to have to back here. And this tower looks pretty dead on my screen.
You're never going to believe what he does. Okay, hold this thought. Rattel is fine.
Ganks out of the Weber. I like the attempt to get some pressure. Again, any lane where he can go and potentially hit the tower is a great time. There's minions, there's gold to be had everywhere.
Bottom turret did fall during that exchange, as there was that dual pressure down there from Emo, and it was enough to scare Rolster away from the turret itself, meaning the first break of the game does go to DKG, growing their gold lead. Let me tell you, DKG fans, you should be quite pleased with where that gold is.
Upside though, Weber in trouble.
I take it back!
Yeah, and all of a sudden, Doe first bloods him.
Nicely done by Rolster, converting the gold not only away from Weber, but over into their own carries. As Rattel gets a massive gold boost out of that. Currently, the second most wealthy player on the map, second only to Wind, who's doing quite well on this Lucian. He'll be a serious threat in these team fights. He's still able to go toe-to-toe with him, though, just because of character.
I want you to know, though, that you've now permanently drawn the ire of the Korean fans, because you curse Weber. Right here, this is you.
I'm sorry, Chan.
It's also Doe.
Dive in.
Red team champion.
Well, I knew what I meant too, and I still said it wrong. Incredible. That's okay, it happens to the best of us. Happens to me too. As Salem here in mid, defending. Luna with the package, ready to go. No objective just yet, but 8 seconds in, and we'll have one to play for. So I do, again, love the timing rolls to always use the package well.
We're into teamfight territory now. I was curious if we'd get a 5v5, but Rolster and Stanfield, and they are in control of this game state, so the priority is over on this Drake. Darko do not feel they're in control of the game state. They want to get key gold onto their key carries, so their priority is over on Rift Herald. We handshake yet again. Very polite, lots of business being done here today, Pastry.
It's very cordial third game here, as getting a little rougher for Emo here in the bottom side. But
that's a big HP bar.
That's what I was going to say.
That's a big HP bar.
There's a lot of health in that Garen, and they can't chew through it.
It's a big boy right there. Not a whole lot you can do. Emo spins a bit. The attempted gank down bottom is just cancelled by Rolster. They do currently have a gold deficit. You might be like, that's great for DKG. But a whole lot of DKG's value is going to peter off, particularly in that Lucian, I believe. I'm also not a huge fan of the late game teamfighting influence of Diana. She's kind of a moonfall, and that's it. Whereas Rolster do have Corky, who's going to go toe-to-toe with the Graves. And they got the Akali, then they got the Fiora. That's very scary to DKG. And they'd like to make some action happen here.
Isaac going for it. There's one. That's going to be an easy kill.
That's a big HP bar.
Gets the flip. Going to be able to dance back. Didn't have R2 ready to go, so that's actually a
He's going to get a both.
Yo's looking for them here. Does have the flash.
Flash in.
That's it. Flash Q. That's enough. And DKG taking over.
And DKG benefit from some over-aggression, some desperation from Isaac. As he did not need to do that for all the reasons I just outlined. And he full commits to kill DKG's support. The second time in 2 games he's actually done that, if you remember the Destiny gate in game number 2.
And I was going to say, as you were saying that, right, where if I'm going to trust in anyone late game teamfighting with this kind of comp, it's going to be Rolster. But they are so far behind now if you watch the Act 3 play. And Isaac just overplaying. This is, again, very uncharacteristic of this team.
Yeah, look at this from Isaac. Completely unnecessary. And you know Yo is going to do exactly that. Diana's a very good defensive character. Top lane fight.
Yep, it is a kill. This time for Rolster getting one back. Do take out YK with a 3-man gank.
Nicely done by Rolster. Somewhat mitigating what went wrong down bottom. The gold again over to Rattel. We will see if they can get 4. There
Looks like it has to be a Rattel game almost at this point, and they are going to put some more eggs in the basket. Sailing with the C. They're going to hit the tower. Yo's up here as well, though, and here comes Wins. Emo just zones him out.
Turret goes down. You can see Rolster learning on the fly what all Chinese teams have had to learn for a while. Just don't even bother auto-attacking the Garen. It really is not worth it.
It's a big old distraction.
It is also, for anyone following along, font of life, Garen. The game plan is you go in with a spin to win, and everyone on your team gets to regen.
Good time. Seen this in a couple of the bot lane melees. We did have them at the center as kind of the most obvious example of font of life at work in a bot lane.
We did like a big bulk T-pose type deal to demonstrate the Nasus. Yeah, it's kind of what's going on here with Emo as well. He's just a large health bar and he can sit there in the front lines and force Rolster to play around him. And that's going to be a problem as we get to the late game. Rolster dependent upon their team fighting skills, and that means two things. First of all, Isaac, Rattel must get onto Hueba. They must convert that kill. Second of all, Luna must stay alive.
To be fair, Luna's often very good at Salem here charging in. That's a very nice stasis. And here comes Emo. The defense has arrived. The tower is dead. But in the 2v3, what's going to happen? Wind on your screen as CJ highlights. Lets the culling rip. Great kick there out of Do. But that's not enough to save the day. It is Salem that falls.
And with Hueba on his way as well, Rolster need to break this off. They're down a player. Drake's going to be burned. Do knows what's going on. He can't step up here.
Yeah, just flashed on instantly by YK, and that's going to be enough zoning for the Dragon. Darkun Gaming grabs Dragon number 2. Luna forced to package away. And Isaac ready with the ulti, but what are you going to do as Rattel's chased out of his own jungle?
Rolster are making me so nervous right now. The way they're playing this, not respecting DKG CC, walking up into YK blind, that could have broken so poorly for them. As is, they trade a turret for a Cloud Drake, which, as we say in the business, we take those.
It's definitely better than nothing, but as I look up and I see the gold lead that Darkun Gaming have, I see a lot of different things here in this series. I think about what happened in that first game, and even in that second game. And TJ, all I can see is Hueba having the most gold in the game in 3 hours on a farming jungle. They are back in the form that they have been showing us all Horizon Cup long.
And that means that we're going to get exactly what we kind of started this series discussing. DKG have now executed their dream composition, and it comes down to this. Can Hueba provide the value he should in these team fights, or can Rolster burn him down?
Can Evo go? Spinning around with both the sweeper and the blades. He's just a ward, a battle ward. The biggest ward you've ever seen.
Yup. That's what the Garen support's going to do. Hueba steps forward here, not punished.
I'm spooked. I'm scared. Rattel gonna have to back away alongside Salem, but Baron is on the menu. Hueba's gonna start.
He'll burn it. Wind and Hueba, this is gonna be a very quick Baron take. Do knows this, he's in the area.
Yeah, he's gonna get kicked out pretty instantly, has to burn the dash, but DKG are patient.
It's all about Hueba here. Does he stay alive in this team fight?
Hologram by Wind just to poke Isaac. Decent amount of damage.
I don't like that culling use because it is now down. Will be for about 30 more seconds.
Way to the target, as we know, there's the kick! Oh! The target they needed, though! It's gonna make it happen, they take out Emo, though! That's not what they wanted, but Isaac is gonna try and save the day, and again, too far there as he's trying to dip his way out. Maybe gonna be enough, actually! It's DKG that have gone too far, but Hueba is still alive, but for how much longer?
Dead!
Rattel finally gets the kill they need!
Rolster put the team fight together! They show up when they need to! 15 minutes into the game! And they scoop Hueba out from behind his defenses! Fight him twice underneath the turrets!
Is there anything else that we'll have to find out in a moment? Because this is the fight that turns the game back around for Rolster.
Do in with the kick. He's in stasis. No, he's not dead, but he adds no value to this fight because Hueba, by the time he's reset and come back in, has no chance to fight with his team who are already dead. Rattel provides value, Salem soaks up the damage, and Hueba is dead before he gets 5 auto attacks off.
Rattel diving on through. Baron still up though. Elder Dragon not spawned just yet, but it is coming up here as Darkhoon Gaming have the Dragon lead right now. This is starting to get to Rolster's happy place in any given game. I said 25 minutes, we're approaching 20. Luna has 3 items, Isaac has 3 items.
However, the Hueva threat is not gone.
No.
Much like the Dark Lord, Hueva is dead but not defeated. He will return. And when he does, he will have just as much damage. He's still on 4 whole items pastry. And that means you must do that exact focus every single team fight if you are Rolster.
I'm looking at Isaac, I'm looking at Doe, I guess Salem as well. They're the ones that can potentially find this target. It's going to be a little too tough for Rattel, impossible for Luna. Rattel going back in for it though. The Elder is up, as you said. Salem finally engaged, trying to take the 4v4, but YK just ripping through them alongside Emo. Isaac, he's going to try and take the kill, but Hueva is arriving, and that looks like a real trouble here for Isaac. He's going to dip out of the way, and somehow, despite all that, no kills.
So Rolster go for the fight because they see Hueva down by the Elder, and they realize they can fight it. The second Hueva returns, they are out of there.
TP, Salem went back. They do not. But they're running back here, and now DKG have to face check the fog outside the Elder, but they haven't started it just yet. You get a ward down.
Hueva will do a massive amount of damage to this Elder. As a result, they cannot be left alone. Rattel cannot recall. They have to fight here.
We're going for it again. Salem has the flash. Rattel, they know he's there. He's not going to surprise them. They have to find the angle here. Isaac going around. He's trying to find the flank.
Board in. Rolster know exactly the HP of this Elder. Here comes Isaac on the flank.
No, that's the kick. Isaac though diving back in again. It is Hueva they need to look for, but Emo grabs the first kill. Isaac though is taken out to Renekton. The double kill though for the...
No!
It's Yo going up for the triple. The Elder's still on the table. Hueva still alive. And DKG still in this game.
Hueva survives the team fight, and Yo cleans it up. A triple kill. Secures the Elder. Secures the ace. Secures the game out the series to DKG as they push down the mid lane. 30 seconds on the death timers. There's no chance, Pastry.
They had to fight very hard to get to this point, but it still remains the same. A game loss is not the same as a series loss, as DKG will have a scratch.